मेरो लागि first and the biggest grief that I felt was when I was 15 years old. त्यतिखेर I lost my best friend, मेरो स्कुलको बेस्ट फ्रेन्ड, मेरो स्कुलदेखिको साथी, अनि बिकज अफ क्यान्सर. इट वाज भेरी क्विक. अनि हामी भर्खर एसएलसी सकिएको थियो, अनि एसएलसी सकिए पछाडिको हामी बिच ब्रेकमा थियौँ. अनि त्यो ब्रेकमा चाहिँ लाइक सडनली त्यतिखेर अब फोनहरू यताउता त्यस्तो केही पनि थिएन. हाम्रो मिन्स अफ कम्युनिकेसन भन्ने नै केही पनि थिएन. कि त्यही भेट्यो, घर गयो, भेट्यो, त्यस्तो नै हुन्थ्यो. अनि म एकचोटि उसको घर गएको बेलामा देन आई फाउन्ड आउट कि सी इज नट एट होम. अनि त्यो बेलामा चाहिँ लाइक आई आस्क्ड, अनि यताउतै छेउछाउको मान्छेले चाहिँ केही प्रब्लम भएर बाहिर लगेको छ उपचार गर्न भन्ने सुने मैले. त्यतिखेरसम्म पनि मलाई क्यान्सर हो भन्ने थाहा थिएन. बट देन अनि वेट गर्दा 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 लाइक साथी लाइक 2 months अघि पछाडि घर फर्किँदाखेरि सडनली आई स हर. इभन आई डिड नट सी हर पनि भन्दा हुन्छ, बिकज उसको फेस पुरै मास्क लगाएको थियो, अनि केही पनि देखिएको थिएन. उसको फेसै कस्तो छ भनेर नि देखाउँदैन थियो. उसलाई चाहिँ नोजको क्यान्सर भएर उसको यति चाँडो फैलिएछ कि उसको नोज काट्नुपर्ने भएछ. अनि देन त्यही भएर उसले कहिले पनि देखाएन, मैले कहिले पनि हेरिनँ. मलाई याद भएसम्मको मेरो लास्ट कन्भर्सेसन भनेको ऊ त्यो फर्स्ट राउन्ड अफ उसको सर्जरी पछि ऊ फर्किसके पछाडि उसको एकदम लामो कपाल थियो, एकदमै लामो कपाल थियो. अनि त्यो कपाल नदेख्दाखेरिको त्यो पेन, अनि सडन त्यो किमोहरू पछाडिको उसको जुन बडी जस्तो थियो, त्यसले गर्दाखेरि एकदम दुःख लाग्थ्यो. अनि हामीले कुरा गर्दाखेरि उसले मलाई के मात्र भनेको याद छ भने इट्स आई विल बी ब्याक, अनि हामी सँगै पढ्नुपर्छ भनेको याद छ मलाई. देन त्यस पछाडि अगेन अर्जेन्ट भएर फेरि सी ह्याड टु कम टु भरतपुर. अनि भरतपुरमा गइसके पछाडि त्यस पछाडि मैले मेरो साथीलाई भेटिनँ. मेरो साथीको डेथ भरतपुरमै भयो. सो त्यो कन्टेक्स्टले मलाई अझै पनि त्यो ग्रिफले अझै पनि मलाई एकदमै गाह्रो बनाउँछ, एकदम गाह्रो हुन्छ मलाई. बिकज त्यो एजसम्म हामीलाई के भनिन्थ्यो भने एकदम पढ्नुपर्छ, यस्तो साथीहरूसँग घुम्ने डुल्ने भनेर त पछि पनि गर्न मिल्छ भनेर भनिन्थ्यो. तर द्याट वाज द पोइन्ट वेन आई रियलाइज कि अब मेरो साथी फर्केर आउँदैन, अनि त्यस पछाडि अब म उसँग त्यो टाइमै स्पेन्ड गर्न पाउँदिनँ. अनि अर्को एउटा मेरो रियलाइजेसन के पनि भयो भने मैले फर्केर हेर्दाखेरि त अब त्यतिखेर यस्तो स्मार्टफोन्सहरू पनि थिएन. फोटो खिच्न भनेको अब त्यति घुम्न पनि गइँदैन थियो, अनि फोटो खिच्ने त्यस्तो केही हुनै थिएन. मेरो साथीसँग मेरो फोटो नै रहेनछ. अनि जति पनि मेमोरी छ त्यो उसको र मेरो मेमोरी मेरो दिमागमा मात्रै छ के, त्यतिमै मात्र छ. उसको अनुहार कस्तो के बल्ल 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 खोजेर एउटा उसले स्टोरीमा खोजेको फोटो छ, तर त्यो फोटो पनि लाइक इट डजन्ट रिप्रेजेन्ट हाउ सी वाज. अनि त्यो मेरो दिमागमा मात्रै छ, मेरो मनमा मात्र छ. अनि त्यस पछाडि चाहिँ आई हेभ स्टार्टेड लिभिङ माई लाइफ. अनि आई ट्राई टु लाइक स्पेन्ड लट अफ टाइम्स विथ माई हुन्छ नि बेस्ट फ्रेन्ड्सहरू छ भने चाहिँ म आई हेभ एकदमै धेरै ग्रेटफुलनेस छ मलाई मेरो साथीहरू मेरो जो लाइफमा हुनुहुन्छ. अनि प्लस अर्को भनेको चाहिँ आई क्लिक अ लट अफ पिक्चर्स. यति धेरै फोटो खिच्छु होइन म, भिडियोज फोटोजहरू. आई गेस लाइक पिपल वुड हुन्छ नि कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ दे वुड थिङ्क होला कति धेरै पिक्चर खिचेको भनेर, कति धेरै सेयर गरेको भनेर. बट देन द्याट इज समथिङ द्याट आई रियलाइज कि आई डोन्ट वान्ट टु लाइक गो थ्रु द सेम काइन्ड अफ पेन वेन समवान हुन्छ नि लिभ्स दिस वर्ल्ड, कि ला मैले त्यो मान्छेसँग फोटो नै लिएको थिएन, अर मेरो मसँग उसको केही पिक्चरै छैन भनेर चाहिँ. सो या द्याट वाज इट. That was the grief.
So today I will be talking about grief. Memories are like footprints by the beach, slowly fading because of the splashes the waves of time create. Memories are like flicker of light produced by a firefly in the dead of the night. Memories are something you hold on to forever, yet still the details fade. It vanishes, disappears, as life moves on. Time waits for no one. I understood that the day I lost my father. And time is no one's friend. It does not pity you. No matter how hard you try to grab its attention, time will always move. Life will always shift, and memories, they will always stay nostalgic. It happened 20 months ago. And yet, I still remember how cold his feet were as I had bowed and touched my forehead to his toes for the last time. I remember how I got the news in the hospital. When I had entered the ICU, I saw my father and how his body laid on the bed. The injected saline was not touching his skin anymore, and it was removed. And the monitor, it showed nothing but darkness. I had asked the nurse what had happened, and after she delivered the news, my universe cracked. It broke apart. The days after his death was the most uncomfortable ones, where at bright mornings we greeted those who come to our place, and at night we cried ourselves to sleep, Mom and I. We were the only ones left, and having to picture a life without you was hard. I had to shut my eyes and wish that it was all a dream and I wanted to come out of it, but it wasn't. And it was never going to be a dream because I knew for a fact that this was really happening. I was prepared for it. Many people do not understand that grief works in different ways for everyone. Regret, sadness, anger are some of the ways mind plays with you, making you revolve around its universe. When grief slaps you, you cannot control your emotions anymore because emotions are in control of you. While I wanted space, I was given none because of religious works. I was doing the rituals every day, having the cow dung between my palms, the flowers, the milk, the belief. Everyone expected me to do the ritual so that my dad could find peace. And in that moment, I thought that him leaving us without pain was better than him feeling pain at all. Of how peace is when you are in the present, not in the past, neither in the future. Peace is where you are. And peace is inside you.
Hi, my name is Joanna Howard, and I'm here today to share a little bit about my story, my grief journey. In 2016, on the 4th of December, I lost my 19-month-old son, Jared. So since then, every day has been a day of learning. Every day has been a day of getting used to living a life without your infant son. I also have a daughter. She is now 10. So she was about 5.5 when she lost her younger brother. So for us, each day we were all trying, so we had this plan that, when Natalie is 10, Jared will be 6. That's how our life was planned. And then we had to get used to the fact that, Jared was no longer going to be a part of our lives. And even now, that is something that we still try and cope with. And, that's something that we find very difficult to accept. So if I were to tell you a little bit about what my last conversation was with my son, my son, like I said, was 19 months old. It's not like he could speak a lot. There were a few words that he could say. He was a healthy 19-month-old baby. The last words he said to me were, Mama, Mama, see. So what he was showing me was that he was eating something. And that's it. Maybe he was hungry, and he wanted to eat something. And 5 minutes later, that hunger is what took my son away from me. He choked on what he was eating. It was just a freak accident that happened within like 5 minutes, and we had no control of what was happening. So if I could change anything, I would change that entire day and the sequence of events of that day, and stuck to my schedule and saved my son. And I think that is something that I definitely would do. And of course, once you're in this path of grieving and, on this journey, the what ifs and if I had you deal with a lot of that, and that is something that I deal with even today. Every single day, what if I had done things differently? What if that? What if this? Why my son? Why my family? Why us? The number of questions that we deal with, and these are unanswered questions, because no matter what people tell you and no matter who tells you what, it's never convincing. So that is grief. Grief is not just the love that you have for somebody, it also is the absence of the person you love, and what you feel, the emptiness, the longing, the feeling of loneliness, and all of that put together. So that is just, grief, if I were to sum it up in a few words.
Life is indeed not fair. September 18, 2019, the day in which I lost two of my most prized and loved individuals, my grandmother and my dog. My grandmother is one of the most nicest person that you come across. She, with all her heart, loved all her 13 children, and equally she loved and admired all her grandchildren. My childhood was pain all around her, and the day she passed away, my childhood passed away with her. My dog, she was with me for 15 years. Almost my entire childhood was spent around Futsu. The day I found out about those two people, I was stunned. I didn't know what to do. I sat in my room alone, crying. I laid it down on the floor. I couldn't bear it. One thing I regret the most is I couldn't be there with those people whom I love so much dearly from all my heart. One thing I regret the most is my dog was really sick before she passed away. I never cared about those things. I thought, yeah, this is normal. Yeah, she's old, this is normal. She keeps behaving this way. I couldn't understand that she was trying to convey something that, listen, my days are coming to an end. Spend as much time possible with me. I couldn't realize that. And that fills me with a lot of grief and dread. My grandmother, I hope I had more time to take care of her. I hope I had more time to understand her better. I couldn't because she lived in Shangja and I live in Kathmandu. The day I spent the most wonderful moments around these two people, these two individuals. Futsu was like my little sister, and losing her and my grandmom means I have lost parts of my body, parts of my soul. I really wish I had more time I could spend with them, and I could do better.